Hello friends and welcome to Orchestrated Minds Brewing Company. I was really impressed when I was doing my tour of the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area beers, and I wanted to come back here to interview Davey, the owner, the head brewer. Welcome back. It was very kind of Davey to let me in. They're closed today, so it's just me and a couple of the guys back here brewing. Let's go take a look at the brew house.
Yeah, you can see that over there. That's where we keep everything barrel-aged.
Oh, right on.
Right through that wall.
Cool.
Just finishing up with some CIP on some tanks. We're going into the Scott's Mark. So yes, we're finishing up a sour beer right now. It's going into that tank. We've got a bunch of stouts going on right now. IPAs going on. It's barrel-aged stuff. We're about to back off this entire vessel into both of these tanks. We got a bourbon barrel and a rye barrel, I believe, right, guys? Here it's out of Evanston, what is that? That's Evanston, I think Chicago, right, Illinois. And then Bluebird is out of, they're out of Pennsylvania. Yes, we got about 4,500 feet here. This over here is going to be like the barrel, that's our barrel room. This is also where we do all our bottling. We do all our heating and this one. We just keep getting more barrels and more barrels. We fill up, we try to fill up, I don't know, eight or so a month if we can. We turn them pretty fast. We also have some sour stuff we keep over across the street with like bread that we don't want in the tap house.
Sure. All right, friends, I'm here with my friend Davy Martin, owner, head brewer of Orchestrated Minds. Davy, tell us about this brewery. I came in the other day and I was so impressed with the beer, with the staff, with everybody around. Tell me about this brewery.
Well, thank you, first of all. We obviously appreciate that feedback. We're always glad when folks come in, whether they hear about us and stumble in, or whether they plan a trip and they check out some things ahead of time and they want to come by. The brewery started off. Honestly, it was kind of crazy. I always joke around like kind of beer chose me. I didn't choose beer. I was working at a robotics company, developing software for robots to use on orthopedic surgery, and I picked up home brewing sort of on the whim. Just traveling around a lot with my wife. She's from up north, and going up to like Trillium and Treehouse, and I just really fell in love with kind of those beer styles that they were doing. And I didn't see a lot of places doing that in South Florida. And so, it was just a hobby. Started brewing, kind of fell in love with it, fell in love with the process of it, and started giving it away for free at like this event called the Art Walk in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. It's close to our home, so it was just super convenient. Just try to get more feedback on something other than just your friends. Everybody will tell you your poop don't stink, when they're your buddy, but you need good critical feedback to say if it's something that's a viable business venture and something worth quitting your job and things like that when you have a fairly decent career, kind of shoot in already. So people really enjoyed it. I told my wife, I was like, let's just start looking at places again. Let's just continue to extrapolate on this idea of something if it's even possible. We found this location. It was, at the time, it was completely different. It was a big open, like kind of derelict auto body shop. Yeah. So we ripped out everything, changed like the window was a door was a window, redid all like the big roll-up doors, obviously the bar, tore down everything, redid everything, broke open all the floors, and really just made it kind of like a reclamation project for us to turn this into exactly what we wanted it to be.
It looks great here. This is
piece by piece, you slowly add. We didn't come from money. We didn't get investors. Nothing like that. So we did everything just sweat equity and our life savings to sort of build this thing out as we've been able to over the past almost 3 years. That's pretty much it.
That's cool. So it sounds like your wife is supportive of this. How much is she involved?
We're 50-50 owners in the company.
Cool.
Her involvement now is a little bit less until we have a staff. When we first opened, it was just her and I running the bar every single day for the first about a year and a half. Then we hired our first bartender, and I hired Marcos to join me in the back of house about a month after we opened, maybe 45 days after we opened. And he's been with us so pretty much the entirety of us being open. So about 2.5 years he's been with me in the back. And Jamie never had to focus on that stuff unless, it was just, in dire need. Obviously, she has the skill set to do that, but she's an attorney. So it's like she needs to have a little bit more freedom than what I needed to. I sort of took on the ownership of the front and back of house until we brought on Carrie. And Carrie now is taking over more control of the front of house. So her taking that over has really allowed Jamie to be a little bit more freed up. She can come by anytime that she wants. But mostly she handles some like the logistics for me, that whether it's like some of the stuff with reporting on the federal stuff and getting stuff to the mailbox and just making sure that things are on time. She kind of reins me in and is a little bit more of a manager of me and my schedule than so much like the day in operations.
So you've been in business for almost 3 years. Brewing beer for how long?
In total, probably, I guess, about 6 years.
6 years. It's not a long time to get so good at this craft. And you're doing collabs with other breweries, and you told me you're traveling around a lot. So what are the breweries you're doing collabs with?
Well, so far, we just did one at Zool Brewing up in Tennessee. We did some sours with them. We're going back up at the end of March with them and our friends from Minneapolis, Blackstack, to do a sort of home collaboration. We did one with Blackstack and Zool here already this year, back in January. And so we're doing all three of those. Resident Culture we've had here and up there. I'm sorry, we're going up there. We have a tap take over there in May, also at Resident Culture. Wooden Robot will be at their anniversary, and we should have a collab with them in June. So we tore down Charlotte a couple months ago. We did Petty Thieves, we did Salud Beer Cerveza, and we did Heist. Heist event was a big stout. We did that over October of last year for their Night and Day festival. Let's see, we're going to North Park out in San Diego, California in a couple of months. We have a lot of leads in New York, nothing really sewed up yet, but a lot of leads in New York. Just this month, coming into March, we have 2 collaborations with Three Sons, a double IPA and a stout. Then we're doing a collaboration with Unbranded. I hop on a plane and go to Fun Guys to do a collaboration in Raleigh. I come back, I go to Houston for a collaboration with Urban South HTX. We also have Lauderdale, a collaboration down here. Yeah, man, it's a lot going on, bro.
How do you remember?
I don't know. I live for it. It's addictive for me. Yeah, man, we're really busy. I'm very humbled and very grateful. I miss some people. Really sorry. I'm just thinking about I can see my schedule virtually in my head. And yeah, man, it's important for us to work with everyone in our neighborhood. We just did a collaboration with Tarpon on Friday. Cool. That's our 3rd one with them. Yeasty Brews out. We did a barrel-aged Saison with those guys. Dangerous Minds in Pompano, we've done a couple. Yeah, man, we love our community, we love our neighbors, and we just keep trying to do work.
That's cool. Do you remember what is the first beer that you ever brewed?
The first one we ever brewed was like a kind of a West Coast IPA. Yeah. Maybe a pale ale. Lots of caramel malts. Not good at all. No. But it's actually on the wall at Cubo's Tacos in Fort Lauderdale off of Federal and Oakland. Where he actually has my very first beer.
Oh wow, man, that's cool.
So that's pretty dope. He has almost all my beers now. They've been like day one supporters of us, even in the homebrew adventures. So
cool. That's
really dope. I mean, 90% of folks are really like that.
Yeah. What's your favorite beer that you're making right now? Do you have a favorite? I know it's maybe an unfair.
Yeah, it's hard, like picking your favorite child. I mean, look, I love our BA projects. To me, are just. We've been very lucky, knock on wood. The barrel selects that we've had have been just really phenomenal. I love our barrel age program. We actually just released our membership club this past week and sold out in a couple hours. So that was really just phenomenal. It really speaks to kind of what we've tried to create and what it appears like hopefully we are creating. It's good because it builds up that pressure to continue to produce the quality products that people expect you to do. That's always the fear of scaling up. We're ready to scale up, but we're also very cognizant that it's about the quality of the product and not about producing more of it. So we have to be very cognizant of that and be aware that no matter how much someone likes you got to make sure that every visit is just as good as their last one. It got to be better than the last one. Because, you build an expectation and people can, they'll get let down a lot quicker and go on to the new and next hot thing. So staying relevant, staying with good engagement. Our BA program has really been able to give that to us. We also do, we consider true to style New England IPAs. the color on those and the dexterity and the turbidity on those and the pictures. You know, it really just sings online. It really gets people talking. It really gets people posting, using Untapped, using other social media to produce or to promote your products. And that's free 99 marketing.
Yeah.
So continuing to produce those eye-popping beers. We love doing sour stuff. You know, some of the more fun beers that we've done lately is like a smoked lager. Nobody's really doing that, and at our size, we have the capability to do that and execute it at a very high level. Not only that, you don't get stuck with like 10 barrels that you're just sitting on. People like to try it. Some people may like 4. Majority of people only want to try once to say that they've had it. 1 barrel of that is a very feasible sort of volume to be able to take those experiments and take those chances. I like to think that we really live at the seat of our pants. Like, we don't have the capabilities at our size to plan out the whole year. We can plan out events and collaborations for the whole year, but our week to week is very tough to determine. If we get hit on a certain week, you know, like Pilsners take forever, right, to get them filled up. Or to get them turned around. And so if we're not constantly doing that, we'll find there's 2 or 3 weeks where we don't have a lot of light beer. Now, no one usually gripes about that, but you always got someone who maybe not the biggest drinker. They're with a friend. So keeping that low ABV stuff is the hardest. And I think having the ability to do some really fun stuff. Now we focus on something like a smoked lager. We might be screwed for like a month where we don't have that much light beer for the general population. Right. You know, so I really love our dark beer, but I think doing the fun kind of one-off beers that we do is what I've been enjoying more.
Well, Davey, you got a great brewery.
Thank you.
Looks like you just landed in a good situation in life, and you leaving that job you had, it sounded like a good job, but you did the right thing. I'm telling you, man. You turned nothing into something. This is cool.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, validation is a hell of a drug, and I think that fear of leaving that job can hold us back sometimes. And again, with the support of my wife and her blessing, you know, it was just a no-brainer, and I think it really helped take us to the next level. The first 6 months we were open, I was still focusing on my job, and life was a little bit more comfortable, but I don't believe our product was as good, not nearly as good as it is today. So really quitting that and focusing 150% on it, building out a great team, having a wonderful community that was forgiving at the beginning and continued to come back and give us an opportunity to show them that we can be better, we will be better. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's great. Well, thanks for talking to us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we might have to try a beer before I add it.
Right now I have a double IPA on tap. It's a collaboration that we're doing with some friends over in Bonita Springs. It's really great if you want to try it.
Yeah, let's try it.
I've always appreciated people who care about the product, and it's a crazy little game, but it's a lot of fun. And when you get people who are as passionate about it like yourself, they really care about beer. Traveling too, I think traveling and maybe food and things like that. Like, these are all things that they kind of go hand in hand with beer. So many people lost their jobs, hairstylists, tattoo artists, obviously. And he's a great dude. He got a daughter getting ready for college, and him losing his position like that, and he had a tattoo shop and everything. And so we brought him in, and he did all walls. And that was when we first started doing to-go stuff. So he's done every single one of our labels. There's a couple I have done, but he done, let's just say, every single one of our labels and every single one of our can labels. All of our promotional stuff that we do, like tactic overs and stuff, he takes care of all that.
Cool. We were just talking about the artwork back here. This tattoo artist.
Yeah, he's up in Colorado now. Really cheers. So we're drinking, this is a double IPA called Flood the Block. It's a collaboration we did with a brewery over in Bonita Springs. It's Yuquanot, Azaka, and Citra. Really, really fire. So you can see like that New England has that like kind of big, robust mouthfeel.
This is awesome.
Tons of like lemon and lime rind, orange. Lots of mandarin orange on this from the Azaka.
Super haze.
Yeah, it is a 9%er. So I thought a half a pour was generous half a pour was enough.
Oh, you see how hazy that is?
We call that turbidity. That's like the process of the hop oils, like the lupulin hop oils, binding with the protein from the wort, which obviously the wort is beer, pre-yeast pitch. So when we can add in these hops and they bind to this and they give us what we call like well, we would say dexterity, but it's really about flocculation. Flocculation, keeping the product in suspension. A lot of folks, you'll see it fall out, and they'll have a good color for a week or two and they'll fall out. 6 months, 8 months, 9 months later, you pop this can. It might not be the same quality product, but the turbidity will not change. The hops will fall off a little bit.
Great
beer,
beers,
man. We have fun making beer.
Yeah, it seems like it. Well, man, thanks for talking to us today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Gonna enjoy this last half of the beer here and hang out for a bit. Thanks for joining us today,
Cheers.
friends. See you in the next video.
Heck yeah, man.
Hey, one more thing before we take off. I wanted to let you know about where you can find out more about Orchestrated Minds. What's your social media?
Yeah, so it's Orchestrated Minds Brewing on everything. So it's Orchestrated Minds Brewing. If you Google us, it's Orchestrated Minds Brewing on Instagram. We do have a Facebook. We don't manage it. We just reshare it. But we're very active on Instagram. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see all of our posts, everything that's coming up. And if you shoot us a message, 9 times out of 10 we'll answer it unless you're trying to sell me something.
So don't do that. I follow them. You should too. See you, friends.
Later.